companies are chapters, and they're long, and there's going to be chapters that feel great, and there's going to be chapters that are really, really tough. And I think what's interesting, certainly for a lot of us that have been here from the beginning, is this is a pivotal moment, but it won't be the last one, right? It's like we're here because like we've risen to the occasion on numerous pivotal moments in the past, and that will happen again over the next 5 to 10 years.
The hardest moments are always the moment where your culture is tested, but they're also, once you get through them, they're something that strengthens the culture that you started with, because you kind of realize that's the thing that pushed you through.
We have an amazing group of people that are extremely passionate. They're unbelievably thoughtful and smart.
You get bigger and bigger, and the average person's a little further away from the core, and they're a little further away from the moment where it all started.
You really can't put your finger on a culture. You can't put like something on the wall that says like, this is what we're all about. That does come from the people. It comes from like how those people interact when no one's looking. You know, when we first started Carvana, we very much had a principle of we'll hire the right person over the right skill set every single time. We never wanted to bring in someone who was like a quote unquote expert that would be a detriment to culture.
They really hire people based off just who they are. And even if they don't have a role that specifically fits that person at that time, they're willing to bring them in and try them in different roles until they find something that works.
Carvana to me is, yes, we have inventory, yes, we have these things, but it's the people. I work with some of the best people in the world. I really do. They are just amazing and bought in.
So in the beginning, every time you tried to reach a new milestone, it felt absolutely impossible. We run into that about once every year and a half, and every time we make it.
We do well, we thrive with adversity, and whether it be 10 years ago or now, Carvana's hired some amazing people.
We probably failed more often than succeeded.
And in order to be innovative, like you have to fail. Like you have to learn from trying something that no one else is trying.
That was kind of the fun part of it, is, failing, but then looking around and seeing just your squad right behind you or right alongside you and going like, hey, everyone all right? Okay, we got this. We learned, let's go apply lessons learned. And let's be better this time.
I was just constantly like, hey, can I do this? Are you sure I can do this? And I remember Ryan Keaton saying to me, as long as you're logical and you have a good intentions and you have a well thought out plan, try it.
I love working at Carvana because we're always solving new problems. We're always trying to improve. I've advocated for a lot of these new changes, and they listen to us.
It was amazing to just be trusted by our leaders to start a brand new department, forge a whole new path and really support our advocates, support the customer experience.
You are supported in everything that you do. And it's not just professionally, it's everyone's interested in what you're doing outside of work, how your family's doing. It's really hard to find that with other companies that you feel like you're just another person clocking in. And that is not how it is here.
My leaders believe in me, they want me to be better, they challenge me, and I can honestly say I'm happy coming to work every day.
We've got some really hardworking people who know how to find a way. I'm glad that I'm not in a company that has just been so dependent on the past, because we've always been creating the future as well as the present. I don't see that that's changed.
And ultimately too, I think it's just continuing to just have that in our DNA that we are kind of that underdog, and be able to kind of continue to go about it and fight. Because at the end of the day, what we've built has not changed.
We haven't changed. Our product is still there. We're still providing a service that is valuable, that people want.
It does suck to buy a car, especially in the used car business. People do get taken advantage of. They're pressured. Carvana is better.
And yeah, it's great that we get to give them these totally cool cars, right? And know that they're going to be great, but those cars are going to carry their family. To me, this is very personal. This is their life. They're out there on the roads. We want to make sure that we're providing a product that's just awesome.
We do save people money. We do save people time. We make people happy.
At the end of the day, it's you try to kind of just tune out the noise. I think we as a leadership and as a business need to just continue to say, hey, here's kind of the reality. Let us explain the why.
I know there's all the noise out there, but what I see is the heart and soul is still here. And we do have to respond to the economy. Everybody else does too. And so we're making some hard choices. And believe me, we hit some breakers before in the past. We hit some really tough situations. And what I saw was just a consistent resolve to move forward.
We all care so much. We all really are in this together. And there's just a lot of smart, hardworking, talented people that we attract. And It just makes us a really awesome place to be.
Most companies get big and get mediocre over time. Like that passion that you can find in a startup over time dissipates. And I think the thing I care the most about is like that we continue to find a way to sustain that energy, because if we do that, all the rest solves itself. You know, the rest of these things, like, we will figure out. There's tough problems, we've got smart people, but you gotta have people who care. And that's, to me, is the thing that I'm very, very interested about and that I very, very much care about.
Carvana holds a special place in my heart, for sure. I started when I was, in my early 20s. So I grew up at Carvana. When I have to talk about it, I get so emotional because it's like, yeah, Carvana's like my baby. Like, I've started many teams here and I've played a part in other people's careers and making sure like they grow into really strong leaders. So it just resonates in everything that I do.
I like a good challenge, and that's what Carvana has given me. I respect that Carvana is hard, and so that's what keeps me here.
We IPO'd in 2017. And we were, I believe, the worst IPO of that year. We came out at $15 and we immediately traded down to 12, and then it was 10, and it was, it's like this incredible day where you go and you're sitting on the floor of the stock exchange and you expect all these amazing things to happen. You ring the bell and then it was just like nothing, just crickets and just stock falling. I remember I walked in the office and I was just like, do I have the energy to kind of like explain to everyone what's going on and try to keep them all focused? Started to tell the story, and I started trying to explain to people why I thought it would be okay, and explaining all the difficult times that we had faced before and how we had come through them and we were gonna be fine. And one of the people, that's where I'm hitting, give me a second. So one of the people in the room, she after all these questions were being asked about, what we're going through, she just said, hey, well, what can we do to help? And that doesn't seem like that much, but in that moment when you feel like you have to be the one that everyone else is going to kind of stand on, and you realize that everyone there is standing too, that was cool. And I think I knew then that we'd fight battles, but we'd make it through.